Central Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Thursday, and I can say it, it's a new all-time record high for silver. It has finally done it, taking out the previous old-time highs from 1980, and again, I think it was 2011, squarely above $50, been as high as $51 and change. Well, guys, it's really not anything to do with speculative longs. Matter of fact, silver longs, there's just not many. Really, honestly, this is all supply and demand, and things almost seemingly get worse by the day. But that's why you listen here. We keep telling you, we've got the winners here, guys. This is not, I know, I get it. You know what? We've got to change our mindset. $4,000 gold. Oh, it's so expensive. No, it's not. You got to remember, when gold hit its previous, let's go back to, I guess, 1980, right? Right, we had $800 gold, $50 silver. Remember, interest rates were sky high, and Paul Volcker crushed it. Right? We didn't even have $1 trillion of debt. We've got, at least what they own up to, right? $38 trillion. You heard it, $38 trillion now. So no, 4,000 gold is not expensive. It's not even close to expensive. I'm going to say this right now. $50 silver, you are robbing people at $50 silver. And I know those are strong words, but I've been telling you, the winners are right here. And I'm over the moon about everybody for the last almost 3 decades that were smart enough, had the courage, especially early on. I mean, buying $300 gold and $1.25 silver. Heck, I don't even know if it was $1.25. And I tell the story all the time. When I first started here, everyone was like, what are you doing? Nobody buys gold and silver. Nobody says that now. But for those of you that think that this is expensive, you're sadly mistaken. And the reason I say that is because for the first time, this is truly debasement of fiat money. This is what is happening, right? And it's just starting. And what does that mean? For the first time, really ever, the whole world is saying, uh-oh, right? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, right? Oh, no. We've got debt everywhere. And everybody just wants to keep printing. I remember telling all of you, be your own central bank for how long? I'm telling you right now. I do think the United States will revalue its gold reserves. I do. But it ain't going to be at $4,000. It ain't going to be at $5,000. Right? I think the opening bid on that's probably 10. Right? As a way to make the debt look better when they get ready to go all digital, because that's what's coming. That is what is coming. Yesterday, you heard about the EU desperately trying to speed up their digital money process. Every place around the world is doing it. Big news today out of India. saying that from here on out, they will buy all Russian oil in Chinese renminbi. That is a big change. Now, granted, India was buying very little oil lately in U.S. dollars, but they were using their own currency, the Russian ruble. Nope. They've just said, screw it. We're going to buy it all in renminbi because we do not want to hold any dollars whatsoever. And then on top of that, Canada yesterday said that there is a major physical shortage of silver, and they are suspending all metals shipments to the United States. And of course, we know, Canada got a lot of gold, a lot of silver coming from Canada. The administration in Canada says not only will they stop sending gold and silver, copper as well. Guys, it's a worldwide debasement. Get in. Well, it's still, ready for this, inexpensive. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason here on this Thursday. Let's take a quick look at the markets. The Dow down 150. The S&P's down 13. The Nasdaq's down 50. The 10-year note, right? No surprise here, 415. Matter of fact, bonds all over the world refusing to go down. Crude oil is pretty much unchanged. Gold, listen, gold right now down $15. I don't think it's going to stay down $15. They're trying to get any form of a correction, and it's just met with more buying. The second gold gets near, listen, gold touched $4,000 earlier this morning. And then, here come the buyers. Silver, are you ready? Are you sitting down? Probably not. It's up over $2 right now. $50.90. By the way, silver premiums shot up again. It is, Jason, this is becoming a big issue everywhere, because now you heard it from the likes of JP Morgan, you've heard it from the banks when they started talking about debasement. And essentially what is happening is we don't even care anymore. Like, oh, the dollar's up today, or the dollar's down. They don't care. Because I think they're making, and correctly, by the way, they're making the assumption that all of this is going to zero, right? All of the fiat money is going to head to zero, and nobody wants to be the last person holding the bag. And they're out there literally fighting for every ounce of gold and every ounce of silver that they can find. Now you have countries literally saying, you know what? No, we're not shipping out any of our gold and silver. Countries that were relied upon to provide metals to these exchanges, and it's gone. And on top of it, nobody seems to want to loan out the metals that they have sitting in storage, which was something that, when we talk about, well, how could the paper markets, have all of these, there's nowhere close to the amount of physical gold and silver as all these contracts. It is now becoming a huge problem, and I would not be surprised right now. Any hiccup here, and I think we could see both gold, silver, throw copper into this. where they simply say we can't make deliveries on contracts if something doesn't give here very soon.
And there's the possibility that if something gets tripped very suddenly, we'll just have a complete stop. Let's just do silver. The silver market just stops. Yeah. Talk about being too late to silver, because then when it opens, the price will be much, much higher, and then you'll have not bought your silver before a stoppage of this. We know this is happening because it happened with nickel during COVID. The nickel market, because of some big buyer in China, they froze the nickel market. They were able to keep the prices kind of in control, but with silver, I don't know if that's possible. I could see it. Let's just say silver runs to 60, and suddenly there's just the orders aren't getting filled. There could be a stoppage on the silver market. Let's just say it's $59, right? When suddenly something goes wrong, and let's say they close it. Let's say they close it today, and we'll get it reopened on Monday. Well, that gives everybody that has a lot of money a lot of ability to get their positions filled. And then when you go to buy silver on Monday, it's $75 or $90 or whatever. Immediately in one jump, it just gets repriced, Joe. And this can happen.
Yeah. And again, I want to highlight something, because there's some, and I get it, right? Gold's overbought or silver's overbought. Maybe when you look at the price. But not when you look at like the ETFs, not when you look at the futures, not when you look at long positions. Guys, this is a huge change to what is happening here. And you've got people, they're just saying it out loud. Ken Griffin from Citadel, one of the largest hedge funds in the world. Remember, we talked about him the other day. Investors are viewing gold as a safer asset than the dollar, and that is extremely, extremely concerning. The conversations around debasement, this is crazy. Irrespective of any realities, has ignited investor enthusiasm towards gold and silver to the point where regression analysis gives something more akin to how investors view AI or the technology sector. Now, this is some other guy, some other person, another hedge fund. But essentially what he's saying is, man, we just got to throw this playbook out now. You used to be able to, look at the ETFs and look at the paper markets. Look at all this modeling that we've done. And it's now garbage. It's garbage. Right? You think about, when silver got to 50, we keep forgetting to talk, remember the Hunt brothers were cornering the market. Right? I mean, that was kind of what was going on. There's no Hunt brothers. Right? There's not some, group of billionaires or a single billionaire trying to buy all the gold and silver out there. Jason, it is uniform. We've talked about the central banks doing it for a long time now, right? I mean, think about it. We're about 20 years in now of central bank gold buying, right? We should be used to it. And, of course, after COVID, it got a lot bigger. Why? Because they just said, screw it, let's just keep printing fiat money. And they've never stopped printing it. But now, sovereign wealth funds, hedge funds, individual billionaires, pension funds, right? Everybody you can possibly imagine. You now have companies that, listen, it's part of what they do. They don't leave money in the bank. They buy treasuries. That's what they do with all the excess profits. Are now sitting there. What do they do? They're buying crypto and they're buying gold. And I got something for you. they're buying silver too. And everybody better look out. Because when you think about how high would it really have to go to catch up to the amount of debt that the whole globe is creating? Because you've got to remember, listen, this isn't just the dollar, right, Jason? This is fiat money everywhere. Everybody's like, nope, don't want it. Now you're seeing countries like India and all these other countries saying, okay, I really don't want dollars. But at the end of the day, every fiat currency in the world is facing this problem.
Yeah, there's too much currency, right? That's what inflation is, and look what gold has done for getting closer to 2 years now, and now look what silver's been doing this year, and they are a leading indicator. I'm going to keep saying, I'll keep beating that drum. It's a leading indicator of what's getting ready to happen. So every country in the world prints way too much currency. The governments are way overdone. There's no answer to it, Joe. We've been speaking for several years now that the central banks, and we talk about the Fed, but all these central banks, they don't really have a good option. You lower interest rates and print money, and you have the inflation, or you up the interest rates and crash your markets. I guess we'll just see which side of that knife they go to on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, printing is the favored choice and lower the interest rates.
Yeah, I'm going to just say there's nothing left. The lease rates I've never, ever, ever seen them this high. The amount of physical gold and silver in the vaults is gone. It's gone. I'm not really sure how this works. I mean, especially when you look at silver, this is the 5th year where demand's exceeded supply, and not by a little, by truckloads. And now we're sitting on the precipice right here. I mean, we are right here. It's empty. There's only one way for this to go, and it's weird. But you saw it today. I really thought $4,000 gold, $50 silver, that would be our first chance at some form of okay, let's have a little correction here. Didn't happen. Right? I mean, look at what silver did. Silver is basically $52. Just said, forget about 50.
51.15 is where I got right now. So
wow.
So there was no $50 silver. It never happened.
It never happened.
Only 51 silver momentarily. We'll see.
It really never happened, right? I mean, the last 2 times it got to 50, it never really went anywhere. It went right back down. Again, this is something where when we start talking about debasement of fiat money, that's something new. Additional price to the upside, right? Driven structurally by higher central bank gold demand. And again, they keep saying central bank. Listen, guys, it's more than that. They know it. They just, it's just easier to say it that way. It's sovereign wealth funds. It's companies. Heck, look at all the stable coins. You think Tether's the only one buying gold? Are you crazy? Large upside risk to any and all price forecast and potential for significant additional private sector diversification. This is the thing, and this is what I tell everybody. Right now, what would you say, Jason? Maybe 1% of people out there hold any physical gold, like not counting jewelry. Maybe in the whole investing world, maybe 5% of them think they have some exposure to gold, right? Well, I got a little bit in the ETF, or, well, I'm in the gold mining stocks. I'm just saying, just a 10% increase from there. Not 10%, just a 10% increase from the 1% in physical. 10% increase of maybe the 5% with exposure. And you literally can triple the gold and silver price. Triple it. And this is why they're not talking about, oh gosh, we're worried, gold may go to $4,500. No. Silver may go to $55. No, they're talking about massive upsides. Man, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
9510592. Here's what I've got today. We'll do the best that we can here. I've got, I'm out of dimes. It's crazy. I'm out of dimes. I've got 75 rolls of quarters. They're $345 today. Still way below spot, below $50. I've got 75 rolls of $half at $350. So that's it. That's all that remains on that, and we'll see what comes in the door next. I have 30 20s at 4,150, which is phenomenal. Thinking, you got gold at 4,020, and those premiums rising. We're starting to see those go out of stock. 10th ounce. Right now, 10th ounce. I don't have any. I still got them on the website. I don't actually have any. I may have to take them down. We'll see what happens. But all the fractional gold eagles, maple leafs, all those things they're just gone. Yeah. But again, extremely inexpensive. The world is telling you, go ahead and leave that extra money in the bank and see what it gets you. If you thought you lost a lot of purchasing power in the last 5 years, you haven't seen anything yet. I know that's tough to hear. It is very, very tough to hear. But again, it just feels like gold and silver is where they are going, along with the crypto space. And now they're talking about, I would call that, it's hard to say this is organized. It's been an organized upswing. The fear now is disorganized. Are we going to see breakdowns in markets? And I think I know we will. I don't know when. I still think maybe we get through 2026, maybe. I don't know that it'll be a U.S. market, a European market, an Asian market. Yeah. Substantial asset inflation away from the dollar. This is what we are facing. Looking for any way to effectively de-dollarize, any way to de-risk their portfolios, whether it's U.S., Europe, Japanese, sovereign risk. Even during the financial crisis, no one really told, the flight to quality. This is it. And the gold and silver markets, I don't think people understand how big the debt markets are. The Treasury, we'll use, since we're here in the U.S., let's use the Treasury market. Right? how big the Treasury market actually is. It makes the gold and silver markets look insignificant. So, what happens when the whole world decides we're going to diversify just 1%, which is probably what we've been seeing, right? A 1 or 2%. Very slow, very methodical. If all of a sudden it jumps to 5%, it will literally break the markets. They will break. That's the fear. And if they break, then all bets are off, right? You might as well throw a zero behind gold and silver, right? 50,000 gold, $500 silver. This is what they're all talking about right now, right? They're not talking about, oh, hey, this is just a speculative little thing here, right? Which is what we've seen in the past. Right there in the financial crisis, gold went to $1,900, largely speculative, right? This isn't. Well, how can you say it isn't? And the answer is very simple, because they're not doing it with paper. They're not doing it. Now, granted, the ETFs have had some flows, but it's not, anything off the charts. They're not doing it with paper contracts. They're actually doing it with, I want to physically have it. Because when the market breaks, the ability to have it will go away, Jason, right? This is why they're doing it, right? This is what they're doing right now. Well, the rest of the world's like, oh my gosh, look how expensive this is. And sitting on their hands, these guys are literally backing up trucks. And I'm not talking about your Ford F-150. I'm not talking about the Brinks truck. Right? I'm talking about trucks where the tire is bigger than a person, and they're filling it up with gold, and they're filling it up with silver, and they're filling it up with copper. Because they already know. They already know. That's going to break eventually. And then guess what? You better have already had it, because if you don't have it by then, you're not going to be able to get it. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Here's what we got. We're down 2020s now, 41.50. We had 75 rolls of quarters at $345. We had 75 rolls of quarters, or a $50, at $350. And they are going very, very quickly. Breaking news here. The government continues to be shut down. And it looks like, guys, everyone, I guess we're going to dig in here. President Trump saying that they're going to figure out a way to pay the military on October 15th. So I don't know how. I don't know. Maybe they're going to use tariff revenue. I don't know. But possibly saying that maybe the Republicans can get something passed that allow them to pay the military. So this thing may take a very, very long time. That was one of the things that I think people were I know I was shooting for is, well, gosh, you gotta pay the troops on the 15th. Well, it looks like there may be a workaround for it. Wow. Okay, breaking news. Brazil saying they bought 16 metric tons of gold, and they've done it in the last 30 days. And I guess they're letting be known that they will be continuing to buy. So, Jason, I don't know why we should be surprised. That's a lot of gold. Even when China was, kind of peak buying, they were only saying, 20 metric tons, 30 metric tons in a month. Brazil, obviously not the size of China, but 16 tons in September, and saying they're getting ready to progress in a massive gold buying program. And, of course, remember, they're part of BRICS. Trump hit them with the 50% tariff, right, today. So think about what happened today. India comes out today, says, you know what, we're done doing dollars. We're buying all Russian oils in Chinese renminbis. Trump, right, as he's trying to get everyone to stop buying Russian oil. And then all of a sudden, Brazil just comes out and says, oh, by the way, we just bought 16 tons of gold as well.
Brazil's president came out about a month ago in support of Maduro in Venezuela. And we know that Venezuela has a little bit of gold, too. So not very hard of a trip to get it from Venezuela to Brazil. So interesting how geopolitics is also starting to play into this, Joe, when it comes to gold and how it's moving around the world, right? So stuff getting ready to happen, right, Joe? Stuff getting ready to happen. That's not happening. It's just we don't get to see the whole thing. We get to see the result.
It's happening right now. Look at what they're doing. It's amazing. These guys, listen, when you talk about sovereign wealth funds, hedge funds, central banks, a metric ton is 32,150 ounces. And they did that 16 times in a month and said, oh, by the way, we're probably going to do it again next month, and next month, and the next month. We're already in deficit. They're not buying it because they think, oh, gosh, well, gold may go to 5,000. Silver may go to 100. This is worse than this. They're buying it because they think we're going to be in currency debasement globally, which is what listen, this is going to be the big bubble. I don't know when it pops. I'm fairly confident it doesn't pop this year. I hope I'm right. But these moves and the amount of money and the fact that the only people that think $4,000 gold and $50 silver is expensive is the consumer, right? It's us, right? The guys with the actual money are like, oh, no. Well, you think Brazil brought 16 tons of gold because they think the price is going to go back down? I don't even know if they did it because of the price. What does that tell you? I think that says, who knows what the price could be? This could get, I think, a lot different than most people think. And in a weird way, may allow for the United States, when it's over, to recover. Because we say we've got 8,000 metric tons of gold. That's a lot. And I'm sorry, at 4,000 gold, that's like a flea fart in a hurricane, right? That's nothing, right? It's nothing. Oh, my gosh, we've got $1 trillion. Please. Dude, we spent $1 trillion. We go $1 trillion in debt in like 90 days. It's not a lot. Well, how about 40,000 gold? Oh, wait. Now we got 10 trillion. Right. Oh, that's a little better, isn't it? 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. You know, the place where the winners play. Yeah. We'll be back. Final segment. Coming right up. 800-951-0592. Guys, so I got 2020s, 4150. I'm down to 50 rolls of quarters at $3.45. 20 rolls of half dollars at $3.50. By the way, the silver is literally below melt. At 800-951-0592. Silver hit a new all-time record high above $52, and nobody thinks it's stopping there. Wow, I'm just stunned. Brazil today, that is a big number, compounded with what India announced today. It just seems like this is going the wrong way, and it's going the wrong way very, very quickly. Please get cover. Please. Don't leave big money sitting in bank accounts. It's not going to end well. And then, guys, you're going to need income. I'm just telling you. Can't you see it? Can't you see it? Texit is a great way to get daily income. You know, we had yesterday we had some people did a testimonial. One of them, Cheeto Ed, great customer of ours, talking about how he just got it. Dude, he just got in a week and a half ago. And he's like, I'm already, he did a 9-pack, but he's like, I'm already making more money a day than I'm getting in my Social Security check. Right? I mean, this is the difference makers. Listen, this we don't even know. You know what's funny? You're supposed to get told what your cost of living adjustment is for Social Security. The government's closed, so we don't even know what it's going to be. And they've already said, hey, whatever it is, the increase in your Medicare and Medicaid costs, you're not going to. There is no increase essentially, right, Jason? Hey, we covered the increase in your health care, but nothing else. I can't stress it enough. At least come in at $9.95 and at least expose yourself to the crypto markets. This Wednesday, coming up, this is the last big giant Phoenix meeting at the Deer Valley Airport. It's going to be 5:30 to 8, RSVP for it. Talking with Wayne, we had a decent turnout in Chandler yesterday. I think what we're going to do going forward is smaller groups so we can sit down and maybe have 5 or 10 of you at a time, and we get you on the Bionomy exchange, having everybody put in either a sell order or at least a sell or a buy order. I won't force you. How's that? I won't force you to sell anything. I can't force you. But put a sell order or a buy order in, because you guys are going to have to get up to speed very quickly. And by the way, I keep saying it, get ready. The next leg up is coming. 800-951-0592.